G'day guys, I'm Kwackajack and welcome to another motovlog. You join us here on a beautiful Monday morning on the Gold Coast. It is Labor Day long weekend, so we're out for a group ride and we're heading up through Beechmont to Binna Burra to grab some food. We've got the CBR 600RR up the front, looks like we've got a V-Strom 1000 up there, and we've got the two Dyna Fat Bobs and me here on my little Ninja 400. On the way up we're going to be discussing a few things because there's been a few developments in regards to my next motorcycle, which is really exciting, and I want to share that with you. I've decided to share my shortlist for next motorcycles. I know I've been keeping it a secret, but I'm just too excited. I want to share it with you. I want to let you know where I'm at because I'm in a really hard dilemma right now, stuck between two. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, because it is Labor Day long weekend and it's a public holiday, it is double demerit points this whole weekend, so I don't think any of us are going to be riding too crazy. The roads are a little bit slick because it was raining yesterday too, so it's just going to be a nice cruisy ride through a very, very beautiful part of the coast. This is actually the first time I managed to get on the bike for a little bit. I was down in Tasmania for around a week not long ago, and it was my first time down there. Me and my girlfriend, we spent a couple days in Hobart and then a couple days in Launceston with some of her family. And yeah, it was an absolutely beautiful place, and I really want to do a ride down there. I'm thinking something that I'd really love to do in the future is hire a motorcycle and film a vlog all the way around, because we saw some of the countryside and it was absolutely stunning, and they've got some really good roads too. So I know quite a few people go down there and ride, and you can hire bikes there, so that's something I'd be absolutely loving to do. Is anyone that follows the channel from Tasmania? If you are, let me know which parts you reckon would be the best to ride around, ride through. Any tips, any hints, much appreciated, because yeah, it was a beautiful place. I drank so much wine and ate so much cheese. It took me a couple of days to recover. So the guy at the front, I think he said that the main road up to Beechmont, they had a landslide on there, so we're going an alternative way, I believe, through Canungra. There's been a ton of those landslides lately around here with all the rain that we've had, and a lot of roads have been taken out. Our original plan was to go to Tyalgum and Moolumbar today, but a lot of their roads are still out of action too, so Binna Burra is still a great ride. And they got a nice cafe at the top with a good view, so I'm looking forward to a coffee. Oh, there we go, there's one of the landslides I was talking about. Oh, I also want to say I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple of you guys recently. I actually had someone come up to me at work the other day too and say hey, and I just want to make it very, very clear. If you see me in public, please do come up and say hey, because I love meeting you guys. It always makes my day, and I really enjoy talking to you guys. If I have time to stop and have a chat, I absolutely will. So again, if you do see me out and about, please say hey. Don't be afraid. I know I can have a bit of a resting bitch face sometimes, but I love talking to you guys, so yeah, and it always makes my day. Right, okay, so the next motorcycle. I said I had some updates, and I do. Recently I've been thinking. I originally said that my plan was to keep my Ninja 400 and use it as a second motorcycle. That plan has sort of changed a little bit now. Currently I'm thinking of selling the Ninja 400 and using that as a deposit towards my next bike. Now I know this channel is basically built around this motorcycle and I love it to bits, but I'm thinking if I have a bigger, more powerful motorcycle will I really use my Ninja that much? I don't know, probably not. Yeah, so I went and got it evaluated. I took it to the dealership where I bought it from, and got it looked at to find out how much I'd get trade-in value towards a new bike, or if I was to sell it. And at the dealership it was around $5,000 for a trade-in and $4,000 if I wanted to just sell it to them. And look, I know that I can get more than that if I sell it privately, so that's probably how I'm going to end up doing it. This motorcycle is in pretty much pristine condition. I've looked after it. The only thing is like a slight scratch in one of the stickers on the side, and you know what, that wasn't even my fault, that was Dad's. So in terms of how it runs and everything, there's nothing wrong with it at all, and it's got really low Ks on it, so for the age of it. So my current plan is to maybe sell the Ninja 400 privately, hopefully get $665 for it, and use that as a deposit on the new bike. Now, the new bike, I said I had a shortlist, and I do. Currently it sits at 2 bikes, both the same manufacturer, both very, very similar. I have test ridden one of them. Originally I wasn't gonna... Dad, are we gonna overtake this guy, or... Oh, it's a bit thin. A bit narrow here, maybe we shouldn't. Okay. Originally I wasn't gonna tell you what it is, but I've decided to share, because, yeah. Basically, at the moment, I'm looking to choose between a Z900 and a Z900 RS. Now, the reasons for that are I want a comfortable bike that's still got the performance, and the Z900 pretty much ticks all those boxes. I have managed to test ride the Z900 RS, the retro styled one, and my goodness, that thing has an absolute hurler of an engine. So much low down grunt, just so smooth through the gears. It is a lot bigger than the bike that, you know, the Ninja that I'm currently on, but I mean, that's just going to be any bike bigger than a 400 really. And I really enjoy test riding it. It's such a stylish bike, has a lot of prestige everywhere you go. You know, people, well, mainly the older people, they know what the original Z1 was and the history behind it. So, you know, even my dad knows about it. So I really like that it's got that history behind it, and I really like that they've honored the classic bike that it's based on. So I am leaning towards a Z900 RS. Problem is they're around 18k new. You can get a used one for around 16, whereas a regular Z900, which is a bit more sporty, that's coming in at around 14.5, 15 new, and that's more in my budget. I think realistically the regular Z900 is going to be a better bike for me. It is more sporty, has slightly better ergonomics for me. You know, I can get into more like attack-like position and stuff, but I haven't managed to test ride one yet, so I really would like to do that before I buy one, because, you know, looking at a bike, watching all the reviews, that's one thing, but sitting on the bike, and which I've managed to sit on it, but taking it for a spin, that's something else, and that really sort of cements whether or not that bike is right for you. So I want to do that on a Z900 before I get one. I do like the new green color too. One of the things that was holding me back from getting a Z900 originally was that the green on it was kind of like almost like a highlighter yellow, but the 2022 model does have like a nice Kawasaki green, so I do like that color scheme. Another thing that's pushing me towards a regular Z900 over the Z900 RS is when I sat and rode on the RS version. The handlebars were quite high. Once I go around this corner, I'll show you what I mean. The handlebars on the RS were like up here, and it's a very upright seating position, which, you know, I'm expecting to get from a naked anyway, but it's a bit more so than I think the regular Z900. It's got a little bit different ergonomics on it, and I think the regular Z900 will be better for me. I think I can tweak the handlebars on the RS, but so I've got a really tough decision. Do I go the more expensive but absolutely stunning RS, or do I go for the sportier, cheaper regular Z900? That's my dilemma right now, and it's a tough one. I know a lot of you are going to be asking, Quack, what are you talking about? Going for a naked? I thought you were a sport bike rider. And yeah, I really do enjoy a sport bike, and I've sat on the ZX6 and everything like that, but you know, I think for the kind of riding that I do, like this, longer, more adventurous rides, I think a regular naked will be a better fit for me. If I ever want to tour as well, they're so much more adaptable than something like a ZX6. The ZX6 looks like a lot of fun, but I mean, what am I buying a ZX6 for? I'm not saying that I really like the bike, and it was my original choice for a second motorcycle, but I just think I can do more on a Z900. I'd buy a ZX6 to, you know, like really attack the mountains and, you know, take it to a racetrack, and I've never even been to a racetrack before, like, to ride on, so I just don't think it would be the best fit for me. Right, so those are the two that are on my shortlist. Other ones that I was sort of looking at was maybe like a Triumph, like a Street Triple or something like that. I really do like the look of those, but I'm pretty loyal to Kawasaki, so I think just like the Ninja 400 was the best all-rounder for me when I was looking for my first bike, I think the Z900 will be the best all-rounder for me for my second. So that's where I stand. I do want your opinions on this. I'm sure you guys are going to have some strong ones, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what's best for me. And yeah, it'll be a really sad day if I do sell the Ninja, but you know, moving on to bigger, better things, and I think a Z900 would really suit the channel. I could do so much stuff with it. Go for long tours, still attack the mountains and the twisties when I want to, and yeah, they're a pretty popular bike too. So let me know, do you reckon I should go for a regular Z900, or should I splurge and go for the RS? You right, Dad? Yeah. That RS is such a beautiful bike. And man, the engine on it, oh, so much low down grunt. They do, the regular Z900 and the Z900 RS do have the same engine, but the RS is tweaked to have that little bit more low down torque, and you can definitely feel it. So yeah, want to ride a Z900 and see what I think of that, and then we'll go from there. But that's my current plans. If I had all the money in the world, I would keep the Ninja 400, and it has served me very, very well. But you know, I'd be paying for 2 regos, 2 insurances. I just don't know how much I would ride this if I had that bigger bike. Anyway, I try not to think about it too much because it puts my head in a spin. A bit of analysis paralysis you know? Think about it too much, think about all the pros and cons. I could also go for something like a Ninja 1000, but that is a very big bike and more of a tourer. And I know I said I wanted to do touring, but like, I don't know, I think that might be a little bit too big. Originally I wanted something to have more attack-like ergonomics like the ZX6, but you know, having sat on it and look, I've ridden with a few people. I mean, the guy on the CBR, whenever we get anywhere, he has to walk off and stretch for a few minutes, because like on longer rides they're not the most comfortable things in the world, are they? Now in terms of what I want for my next bike, I want more power than my Ninja. I think, you know, around the 90 to 110 range, I think that will be a good range for me, personally. You know, it'll have more than enough for everyday roads. I want it to be aggressive enough to be able to attack corners, but still be comfortable. I want to be able to go for long rides on it. And I want it to be with around the 15 grand price range. So, considering all that, again, the 900 seems to sit right in the sweet spot. If you can recommend me anything else that sits comfortably within that range, and looks good, I do value the looks quite a bit. You know, I want my bike to evoke some emotion from me. I don't want it to just be like a boring thing, and the regular Z900 is a little bit more boring than the RS. But you know, I can put some bar end mirrors on it and put a new visor on it, and it'll make it look a bit better. Alrighty guys, well I might leave it there. We're going to head back down the mountain now. Thanks for joining along, and I'll see you soon. Bye!